while we all love to sew and don't begrudge a minute of it, not all quilts have to take a lifetime to make. And generally, I do like quick and easy. The quilt in front of me was made with 5 fat quarters, so 4 fat quarters for the front, and then we used the 5th one for the binding. It's made up very simply of squares, and it's the fabric that does the work effectively. They are just cotton fabrics, although they look woolly, they are cotton fabrics, so they're really easy to use. So I'm now going to show you how to do it in a different colour version. So I've taken my 4 fat quarters, I've ironed them on top of each other, and I've matched up the top edges and one side. It can be the selvage or the other side, it doesn't matter of your fat quarters, and ironed them on top of each other. The reason I've ironed them is that will give them a bit of adhesion and allow me to cut through all 4 layers. There's only 4 layers, so that's really easy to do. The one thing you have to remember is to measure the shortest distance. They'll all be approximately the same distance wide, 20 to 22 inches, or certainly over 20 they should be, but the depth varies depending on your supplier. It can be anything from 19 inches to 21 fat quarter. Anyway, measure the smallest, and we need to divide it into 4. I have managed to do mine into 10-inch squares, so I had a good 20 inches. And so what I've got now are 4 piles of 4. They're in exactly the same order as each other, so that makes it really easy to make my design. I'm not going to overthink this. I'm going to just put 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm going to put this one under here. And this one here. So you can, when I come to make the quilt, you'll get this diagonal movement of colour. As I say, I'm not overthinking this. And if you're using plaids, then also if they're like this, these are what we call printed plaids. They are not necessarily on the straight grain. That's also something that you mustn't be too fussy about. If you want plaids that are or stripes that are absolutely on the straight grain, then you have to have oak shop fabrics because they're woven, or choose a woven fabric. Now, I am looking to see that I have these roughly in the same orientation. So the green goes vertically, that one's horizontally. Because when I come to do the quilt, I'm going to sew it really, really quickly. And that one goes there. So I've got 1, 2, 3 here. These ones are here. These ones are here. And this one, I think this one wants to get turned. The darker one is up here, and the darker one is here, and this one is here. So, there we are. So now what I'm going to do is sew this row onto here, this row onto here, and this row onto here. This I call row 2. It always flips onto row 1 so that I can then take it to my sewing machine. Row 3 then gets flipped onto here, and row 4. So this was my design order. What I'm going to do now is to put them into a pile ready for sewing. So I'm just going to pull these 2 down here. I would normally have a little bit more space at home, but not a lot. I tend to do this in rather cramped sewing conditions. So you could easily do this on a kitchen table or something. This method is also a great method if you are using the dining room table and suddenly the family come back and they reclaim it for food. You can store these in this order, which is ready for sewing, and then this one is my last one. So what I've done is I've put the bottom, or the piece of square quilt that's nearest me is on the bottom of the pile. So I'm just going to put a pin in the top left. That's all in the same order. This is a pin in the top left here. That goes on here. And a pin in top left here. And so Well, I'm going to just pop that under there. Pop that out of the way. So these ones are here. So we've got row 1, row 2, which I'm going to put onto row 1 and sew, row 3 and row 4. So we've set up the studio with a clock. We're just going to get ourselves prepped so that when I start sewing, you can see just how short a time it will take for you to make a quilt top. So here we go. I know it's not a race, but I do just want to show you how quick and easy these things are. So row 1, this is row 2 on top. I have cut them so they are accurate. So I'm going to sew, whoops, standing up sewing. So we're going to go back to the beginning. I've got a pin in the top left just to remind me. And now we're going to sew row 3 onto row 2. So this is my last piece, and you will notice that I picked up the fabrics and put them right sides together. So if they were printed fabrics, that would be very obvious. It's not so obvious with these dyed fabrics. So we have the quilt top with the vertical seams done. And what I wanted to show you is that I have kept all those bits of thread holding them together so that I don't have to do any more designing. The design is done, and you can just double check that you've got it right. But now we can do the cross seams. What I did also save time on the vertical seams is there are no pins. If you've cut them accurately, you don't need pins. You just hold them together. So now I'm just going to have pins to do the horizontal seams. So pin the seams in opposite directions. I do like them closed because for me that just gives them strength. It also, I find it gives me accuracy. I'm not very good with open seams. This quilt is really lovely to do because it doesn't matter what your seam allowance is as long as you're consistent. I have to say it's not that easy here in the studio with this. It's catching a bit, whereas at home I would have a nice flat bed. But anyway, here we go. So we've got 3 horizontal seams to do. So just sew up to your pins. On the second row, I do pay attention that I try to get the seams heading the same way as they were before, so that when I come to do the pressing, it just lies nice and flat. Doesn't always happen, of course, but so just 3 pins. You don't need to pin this to death. The machine will do the work for you. There is always a little bit of give on fabric, and you can use that to your advantage. So one more seam. So this is my last seam. Just make sure that the underneath, which is what I'm doing here, doesn't fall away from you. So that's it. What's my thread snip? So there we are. 4 by 4, so that's 40 inches square. You're going to say that's not a very big quilt. You're right, it's not. But 4 of these would make a double quilt. That's 80 inches square. So it doesn't have to take a lifetime. And if you don't like these sort of plaiddy, gentlemanly, male kind of stuff, it would look just as beautiful in floral fabrics, kiddies fabrics. We all have too little time in our lives, but we must make time to be creative. So I hope that's inspired you to make a really quick quilt. You've got to layer it, you have to quilt it, and you have to bind it. But that also shouldn't take a lifetime. This is really quick and easy to do. I've done it with the walking foot, so you really could do it in a weekend.